The problem with AI is that all the AI has been optimized for response, not interaction. The fundamental challenge in AI design right now, whenever you're using any form of AI systems, right, like ChatGPT, Claude, whatever it is, like it doesn't even have to be this kind of like chatbot version, whatever AI that you use, it basically takes inputs from you, it performs its own analysis, and it delivers the outputs. And that's all it does. It takes input, it does its background analysis, and it delivers the output. But all of that, it does it without accounting for how natural or seamless the interaction feels for you. So you have to figure out how to learn, how to adapt yourself, how to work around AI, rather than AI adapting to you, to your natural way of thinking, your natural way of communicating. So every time you use AI, just think about it this way. Under the family of NLP, NLP is like natural language processing. You got the input, you got the analysis, you got the output, right? So you think about input. What is input? Input is basically what the community says prompt engineering. And it is constantly, heavily worked on by all the AI communities, all the AI bros and AI dudes and AI gurus. They always focus on prompt engineering. They think of it as prompt engineering as if it's the holy grail of AI. Like if you crack prompt engineering, you're going to solve everything. I'm going to prove to you that that is not true. And then you got a training and algorithm, which is a heavy focus by the AI developers. And you will not see the training and the algorithm because it's all already done by the backend. One thing that you will see from the developers is the result of it. Like what is the text output? What is the image output? What is the decisions? And so on and so forth. So you got input, analysis, and output. But just now I mentioned that we need to have some sort of interaction protocol, right? The missing link is the interaction side of things, which is a feedback loop. And nobody is working on this. Nobody. Like you have not seen anybody talk to you like, how do you like work together with an AI? Everyone is like, here is a prompt that you can use to create this kind of output. All the AI systems out there assumes that you are responsible for adapting to the machine rather than the other way around. Like you need to figure out the specific phrases, specific commands, specific prompts, or specific questions in order for you to use the AI effectively. And what if you do not know what to say? What if you don't know what questions to ask? Like you are stuck in front of the screen because you often have to try and predict what the AI is going to do, especially if you have usage limit. Like those of you who are Claude users over there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like by the time you finish figuring out like the exact command to give it, you have hit the usage limit. So therefore, a lot of people who are in the copywriting world, in the marketing world, many of them, they still feel that, hey, you know what? Like I might as well just write my own email because by the time I figure out how to create a prompt to come up with the result, I might as well just write an email myself. All of these stuff, right? Models, like the developers, they're focusing on like how to improve generative quality, prediction accuracy, reasoning. Like this, OpenAI created a big hoo-ha around their O1 Pro model with their reasoning capabilities. The training data, you know, like how much more training data can we feed into it, and how high quality the results are. But what most people don't understand is all of this creates a huge amount of wastage because all of that awesome reasoning and computational powers are simply spent trying to predict what you might like. It doesn't know, it's just trying to predict. But no matter how powerful a model is, no matter how intelligent a model or even someone is, it has no direct connection to your brain. We don't have that neural link thing where it's directly connected and you can go back and forth a lot. You know, so a lot of those awesome powers are wasted trying to predict when the simple solution is just to connect the way humans do. And how do we connect? How do we humans connect with one another? Just communicate, which is a completely different mentality and mindset that all the AI bros are doing. I'm going to quickly demonstrate this to you right now. This is a conversation that I have with ChatGPT. The other day, I woke up starting to like with a feeling of pain on my teeth. I can't figure out what is going on over here. So I type this prompt in. I feel pain on many of the teeth on my upper left jaw when I drink/eat something warm. Help me figure out what are most likely reason. So it says, I am not a dentist, blah, blah, blah. It gave me a whole report of all the possibilities. Possibility number 1, possibility number 2, possibility number 3, possibility number 4, number 5. And it gave me next steps and recommendations. So it gave me a whole to-do list. Do a dental evaluation, do diagnostics, imaging, sensibility testing, address gum teeth, gum health, consider sinus assessment, and give me a bottom line. So now here is the difference with AI Coach. I give my situation. I feel pain on many of the teeth of my upper left jaw when I drink/eat something warm. Help me figure out what are the most likely reason. Ask me one clarifying question at a time and make it the most important one. That's the prompt. Simple as that. And it says, understood, here's my most important question. When the warmth is gone, say you finish the drink of food, does the pain quickly subside or does it linger for some time? And I said for like 10 seconds or so, and he asked me another question, I answer, he asked me another question, I answer, and that's another question and another question. And what I want to bring to your attention is that after we go back and forth, this part over here, here's my next most important question. Have you been experiencing any recent sinus or nasal congestion or pressure, which can sometimes cause referred pain in the upper teeth? At this point, it has arrived at the most likely outcome that it is a sinus problem. Eventually, I went to see the dentist. And after 45 minutes of examination and x-ray, guess what the dentist say? Sinus. After going back and forth for like a little bit, it helped me figure out why it happens, you know? So as you can see, the experience over here is completely different, isn't it? Like this is so much more empathetic. This is so much more human. And it is able to diagnose the issue so much better. And I didn't need to wait for 45 minutes for an actual human doctor. So that's a demonstration. Why is this different? How is this possible? Why is this doing this? Right? Make this make sense. So I'm going to explain like why this works, why the AI coach works so well. The problem here in a typical way that most people are using AI is that you create an input, you look at the start over here, you create an input, and it gives you all the report, right? This whole like 10 possibilities. And you have to decide between all of these 10 possibilities, which is the most likely possibilities, which is the most likely option for you to explore. You got to do that. And after you do that, from here, like let's say you look at all the 10 paths. You said, okay, path number 7, option number 7 seems like the most likely choice. After you choose path number 7, it branches out again to 10 other possibilities. And so you have to spend a lot of cognitive load to figuring out and preemptively explore all the different paths. So you need to learn about all the paths. You need to understand the cause and effect of your choice. You need to go and experiment and you need to backtrack when necessary. Right? In the first place, you need to already know how to ask the right questions. And asking the right question is an acquired skill. It's an important skill, but it is a skill that most people aren't very good at. And when you choose the wrong path, it actually opens up another rabbit hole. And that's the reason why a lot of interactions with AI becomes a waste of time. It's a huge waste because the user is just falling down the rabbit hole, one rabbit hole after another, exploring all of the different things. But when the AI asks you one powerful question at a time and make it the most important one, you are asking the AI to use all of its awesome computational powers, right? To ask you the most important one to help you figure out what is the most likely path for you to follow. And therefore, the feeling between using an AI coach and not using an AI coach is a huge difference. One feels very heavy. One feels very, very light. This is an optimization, fourth element of using an AI, where previously it's all about input. And then after that, optimizing for input, optimizing, which is prompt engineering, optimizing the analysis, optimizing the response. Now we are talking about optimizing for human interaction. Because human input is messy. Human input is ambiguous. Most times we don't even know what is going on in our own minds. Right? Then to actually put it into word makes it even more messier. And it's always imperfect. So that's why prompt engineering takes so much time and effort. Not because it takes a lot of time to write the prompt, but good prompt takes time to develop. It takes time to test. It takes time to refine to make it foolproof. What I mean is that you can just copy, paste, and it comes out with near 100% predictability in terms of good results. This way of using AI, right, it means that you don't need technical knowledge. You don't need to have carefully engineered prompts. It adapts to your way of speaking, it adapts to your language, your thought patterns, your goals. It will guide you by clarifying misunderstandings and adjusting based on intent. Why I say this is better than a human coach, we first need to define what better means. Right? Human coaches still have a number of advantages over the AI coach, like creating physical space as an example, having actual emotions and empathy as an example. And a human coach will be more adaptable. But my challenge to these other challenges is, does all this really matter? Because here's what all the AIC experience is giving right now. Experientially speaking, the questions are a lot more targeted than most humans. I'm not saying all humans. There are some coaches that can actually ask better questions, but it is asking some freaking good questions right now. And because the AI have no emotions, right? It has no baggage. The main AI coach doesn't care to keep you as his client. It doesn't care to piss you off. Like, it is not bringing its own agenda into the conversation. And that's what a coach should be doing, right? Not knowing when to back down. Some people say, hey, AI coach not know when to back down. It's not safe. But it's precisely because it doesn't know when to back down. It's exactly why it's not taking any of our BS. It has 24/7 availability, and it is only costing $20 per month. $20 per month for all of these breakthroughs, right? 1/50th of human costs at a conservative, realistic estimate. A human will cost $1,000 a month. AI coach will cost $20 a month. And it's infinitely scalable. And in terms of adaptability, it can still adapt. All it is that you just need to have frameworks to be given by the architect. Who is the architect? You. So the volume of all of the benefits, right, far outweigh the human benefits. And that's why I think that if this becomes mainstream, I don't understand why would anybody hire a coach anymore. I would go for courses still because I want to learn the specific, unique perspectives that a mentor might have. But to engage a life coach, I don't see it. I don't see it for myself, at least. The conclusion is the volume far supersedes the meager percentage of advantage a human coach can offer. But ultimately, discussing it is pointless. I can only share from my perspective. We can sit here and debate for hours and arrive at like zero conclusions, and you will never truly understand it unless you try it for yourself. Like, this is one guy who said that he paid more than 30,000 US dollars on coaching, mentoring, consulting in his career. And this AI coach performed as good, if not better, than real coaches. Like, he had a massive breakthrough about his struggling to produce YouTube videos for his new channel, doing 2 to 3 hours of recording, stopping, restarting, stuttering. He couldn't figure out why he cannot get through 3 minutes without feeling like shit. So this is my experience for the last 6 to 7 weeks. 10 minutes of intentful conversation. He was able to identify his limiting belief and help him install a new one. So in a nutshell, the AI coach identified if I did anything just for business, I would procrastinate, feel disempowered, and not follow through. I can now see similar patterns on many areas of my life. I can see where some projects I never see to fruition because of this similar pattern. TLDR, must learn how to use AI coach. What I showed you so far is the AI coach level 1, and it's amazing, right? But when you combine the AIC with a process, I guarantee you it will blow your mind. And that's what I call the AI coach level 2. See, there are many things that you can combine with the AI coach level 1 to make it even more powerful. Stuff like offer creation, copywriting, content strategies. That's what most people are using AI for. But you can also couple it with frameworks around personal development, such as parenting, relationships, health and fitness, anything. I'm saying this because I want to open up your mind around the other possibilities of AI. Most people are using AI to improve their work, but that's just half of what AI can do. There's a whole other side of using AI that nobody seems to be talking about, and that's using AI to improve ourselves. I'm going to give you a personal story to share how this works, and I also want to give you an opportunity to experience an AI coach process that has been life-changing for me and my community members. It's pay as you wish, even if it is just $0, so that budget will never be a problem. I'll tell you more about this later, but for now, I want to share my story with you. So many years ago, me and a few of my friends started a gym. There was initially a lot of excitement around it. We thought things were good. We thought we got it handled. But 2 years in, and we found that we were continuously bleeding money. Our clients were leaving to competitors who were better funded. They got better equipment, better environment, better ambiance, and there were many things that we did while trying to gain back our market share, but ultimately we failed. After 4 years in business, we had to shut it down. And it was a very, very dark time in my life. I still remember that back then, every single day was just a pendulum swing between severe depression and chronic anxiety. My mental health was bad. It was so bad. I was completely burned out because I was working nonstop, 12 to 14 hour days, 7 days a week for 4 years straight. And on top of all that, I was still broke. I got nothing to show for all of my efforts. I even had to take out a personal loan just to sustain myself. So when we finally had to shut down the gym, I was feeling very lost. No income, no savings, and no plan. But for the first time in 4 years, I finally have time. Time to think. Time to reflect on what went wrong. And I realized something important, that most of the problems was caused by me. All of the mistakes was my decisions. I've invested so much time in that 4 years, constantly thinking about how can I create more impact, give more value, and grow my business. But when I focus on all these external things, I stop focusing on myself. I stop upskilling. I stop filling up my own cup. And eventually, I hit a brick wall. I hit my capacity, I burned out, and I became a very unpleasant person with all the wrong mindsets. Because of my personal wrong mindset, I made all the wrong choices, and because of my unpleasantness, I drove talents and clients away. That was ultimately what caused my business to fail. I learned that the biggest bottleneck in any business is, in fact, not the strategy, the environment, or the team. It's the person running the business themselves. Today, I've been in business for a little over 10 years now, and consistently, I keep seeing that the biggest challenge in business is rarely mechanical, it's mental. So the most important work, I personally believe, that we can do for the world is in fact the work that we do in ourselves. When we work on ourselves, everything else will fall in line. So 5 years ago, I started creating a system for myself. Every year, I would go away, I would set a couple of days aside of my personal time. I would go away and do a form of deep assessment with myself to reflect how my year went, to reassess my mindset around all the areas of my life, and set new goals for the year. I call this the envisioning process, and my life started changing dramatically. My thoughts and my actions finally matched my goals. And after many years of being stagnant, my income finally started growing again. I created a successful business, and as a result, over the years, I've developed a small following of people who joins me for my yearly envisioning process, even though I wasn't publicly advertising about it, because everybody saw how I personally transformed through the years. And all of that is powerful, but when I combined this process with the AI coach last year, the results were even more mind-boggling. People have been raving about how life-changing this process has been, and you can see it through all the messages that I've been receiving. Over 100 people have gone through this process by now, and every single one of them has been mind-blown. Their actions and their thoughts are finally matching their goals and their plans. People are keeping the promises that they made with themselves. They are done with half-finished, abandoned goals. In the community that I founded to support this group, people are thriving. So here's the opportunity. I've packaged all of this into a pay-as-you-wish system that I made available to everyone. Why? Because this is good. And I want to share this process with everyone on the planet. People who have spent over $30,000 on coaching have remarked that this process is more powerful than most of the stuff that they paid for. But you can pay whatever you want, or whatever you feel is fair, even if it is $0. You can just give it a try and only pay if you feel like it. So you can go to the payment link right now, put $0 in the payment page, then pay later in the course page, and that is perfectly fine by me, because my only objective in sharing this is to share it. So you will get in return the recording of a workshop that I did recently for over 70 people who registered. You will get a written integration guide that comes with all the frameworks that you'll need to do the process effectively, a Notion envisioning dashboard to set and track all your monthly goals for the whole year, and a lifetime access to our community of envisioning practitioners, all of them with access to the same AI coach level 2 that you now have. You will also get 7 special custom GPT assistants that I developed to help you with your implementation. Now, since it's a pay-as-you-wish model, and you can even have it for free if you want to, it's already yours. All you got to do is just claim it. I just want to make this accessible to everyone, and that's why it's a pay-as-you-wish, even if it is $0. If you choose to pay, however, every contribution will support me to develop a dedicated AI coaching app so that even more people will have access to this life-changing way of using AI. If you want to know more about the AI coaching app, you can email me about it at info@felixday.com, or you can learn about it through the AI coaching documentation you'll find inside the Envisioning course portal. The link to the pay-as-you-wish payment page is in the description. So let's make this year the year that you start keeping every promise you make to yourself.